Why your life is in a loop. Ever feel like you're reliving the same day over and over? Like you're stuck in a loop, waking up, going to work, scrolling through social media, feeling drained, and then repeating it all again? You're not imagining it. Your life is in a loop. But here's the real question: why? And more importantly, how do you break free? You see, most people live their lives in cycles without realizing it. They keep meeting the same kinds of people. They keep running into the same problems. They set goals but never quite reach them. And then, one day, they wake up and wonder, where did the time go? Why am I still in the same place I was 5 years ago? Today, we're going to explore the invisible forces that keep you trapped in repetition: psychology, habits, fear, and even biology. But more importantly, we're going to talk about how to break free. By the end of this talk, you'll have the tools to escape your loop and take control of your life. Let's start with a simple truth. Your brain loves repetition. It craves patterns because patterns save energy. This is called habit formation. Your brain automates as much as possible so you don't have to think about every single decision. That's why you wake up and check your phone without thinking. That's why you eat the same meals. That's why you keep making the same mistakes in relationships. Your brain is on autopilot. Think about it. When was the last time you made a completely new decision, something totally outside of your routine? Most people struggle to answer this question because we are creatures of habit. Habits help us function, but they can also trap us. Ever seen a hamster on a wheel? It runs, runs, and runs, but never goes anywhere. Now, think about your daily routine. How much of it feels automatic, predictable, repetitive? Your brain creates neural pathways for every habit you build. The more you repeat a behavior, the deeper that pathway gets. It's like carving a road into a mountain. At first, it's a small trail. But over time, the more you walk on it, the deeper and wider it becomes until it feels impossible to take a different path. This is what I call the loop effect. And it's not just happening in your actions. It's happening in your mind. Habits are powerful. In fact, studies show that 40 to 50% of what you do every day isn't a conscious decision. It's a habit. That means half of your life is running on autopilot. But here's the problem. If your habits are negative or unproductive, you're building a cycle of frustration, procrastination, and regret. Think about it. If you've been stuck in the same situation for years, whether it's a job you hate, a toxic relationship, or a personal struggle you can't escape, there's a high chance you're repeating the same behaviors that got you there in the first place. Habits dictate outcomes. If you don't like where your life is going, look at your habits. Are they keeping you in a loop, or pushing you forward? Let's look at some common loops people fall into. Asterisk, the procrastination loop. I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. The toxic relationship loop. Attracting the same type of people, facing the same issues, repeating the same heartbreaks. The job dissatisfaction loop. Complaining about work but never actively searching for new opportunities or upgrading your skills. The self-doubt loop. I'm not good enough. So you never take action, and because you never take action, you never improve. The cycle continues. Recognizing your loop is the first step. But breaking free, that's where the real challenge begins. Why don't we break free? If we know our lives are repetitive, why don't we change? The answer: fear. Fear of failure. Fear of uncertainty. Fear of what others will say. Fear of leaving our comfort zone. Your brain is wired to keep you safe. It sees change as a threat. That's why stepping out of your loop feels scary. It's your mind trying to protect you. But here's the truth. Growth only happens outside the loop. Think about every major success story. Every person who has ever done something great had to break their loop. They had to stop repeating the patterns that kept them small. They had to make a conscious choice to do something different. Every successful person had to break their loop. They faced fear. They pushed past it. And they transformed their lives. So now that we know what's keeping us stuck, how do we break free? Here are 5 actionable steps. First, interrupt the pattern. Change one small thing in your daily routine. Wake up at a different time. Take a different route to work. Change your environment. Small disruptions break the autopilot mode. Second, challenge your beliefs. What do you tell yourself daily? I can't do this. This is just who I am. Flip the script. Challenge every limiting belief. Start telling yourself a new story, one where you are capable, where you are in control, where you are becoming the person you want to be. Third, set micro goals. Big changes feel overwhelming. Instead, start small. Want to start a business? Don't think about making millions. Just start with one step, research, create, or take a single action today. If you want to get in shape, don't start by saying you'll work out for 2 hours a day. Start with 10 minutes. The key is momentum. Once you start, you'll keep going. Fourth, face the fear. Fear loses power when you confront it. Afraid of failure? Fail fast, fail small, and learn. The faster you fail, the faster you grow. Ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen? And if it happens, can I handle it? 99% of the time, the answer is yes. Fifth, build new habits. Remember, habits shape your future. Replace negative habits with positive ones. Instead of scrolling on your phone in the morning, read 5 pages of a book. Instead of complaining, take action. Instead of saying, I don't have time, start tracking where your time actually goes. You'd be surprised how much of it is wasted on things that don't serve you. This is the power of breaking the loop. You don't need to wake up 10 years from now, wondering where your life went. You have the power to change, today. The question is, are you going to stay in the loop, or break free? Most people will keep doing what they've always done. They'll stay on autopilot, waiting for some magical change to happen. But change doesn't just happen. It's a decision, a choice. And that choice is yours to make. Your life isn't meant to be a cycle of repetition. It's meant to be a journey of growth. Take control, break the loop, and start truly living.